committee that has a bill that they want to let us know about. Yes, Representative Schwetzfager.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I have 25 RS 1032 providing an exception to restrictions on prison-made, manufactured, or modular homes to allow the Secretary of Corrections to establish a model program for delivering prison-built homes into designated areas, which would be 25 RS 1032.
Are you the sponsor, or are you doing it on someone else's behalf?
On behalf, it is a committee bill.
It's your bill.
On behalf of Kyler Sweely.
Okay. So Tyler Sweely would then be the...
With a K. From Hutchinson.
Right. Kyler, yeah. Okay. Are there any questions from the committee? Yes. Representative Carmichael.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I promised you a question or two. Mr. Sweely, is it who is Mr. Sweely acting on behalf of any organization, or is it just on his own behalf?
I asked him that, and he said actually he was not the sponsor, but this would be one for our committee.
Right, but I'm trying to find out if Mr. Sweely, for example, is with a trade association, a company, if he's offering it on behalf of some entity. And if so, I think we need to know what that is.
Right, and I would give that to you, but I'm unaware.
Okay, so this is Representative Sweely we're talking about.
Yes, he is a representative.
And I did speak to him about it, and I believe this is his own bill. That's my understanding.
That satisfies my inquiry. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm sure you understand I'm just concerned that people can pass drafts along and eventually we lose track of who it's really on behalf of. That does not sound to be the case here.
Right.
Thank you.
Sorry, I should have been more forthcoming in saying representative.
Okay. But if I learn otherwise, I'll inform the committee of that. Okay, well, did you have a question? No. Okay. All right. Are there any objections? We'll accept the bill and send it on to the floor. Are there any other committee bills? I have several. My first bill is 25 RS 1037. It's establishing procedures and requirements for the Department of Corrections to issue a certificate of employability to certain inmates. And this is my bill. Are there any questions? Any objections? If not, we'll accept my bill. That's RS 25, once again, 25 RS 1037. The next bill is RS 1038, and it's a bill that increases criminal penalties for juvenile offenders who use a firearm in the commission of an offense and those who are repeat offenders. Are there any questions? This is once again my own bill. No objections, I take it. We'll sponsor that bill as a committee. The next one is a 25 RS 1039, and it provides for increased placement of juvenile offenders in non-foster care home beds in youth residential facilities and requiring the Secretary of Corrections to pay for the costs associated with such placements. Are there any questions? This is my bill. Any objection? Seeing none, that will be sent on to the floor with our committee's sponsorship. Just making sure I got everything in.
Okay, I'd like to introduce on my behalf as 25 RS 1035, and it would increase the penalty for anyone bringing a firearm onto the school property grounds.
Are there any questions for the, yes, Representative Carmichael?
I'm sorry, is that bill on behalf of the vice chair himself, or is it on behalf of an organization?
Myself.
Thank you.
Are there any objections? If none, we'll go ahead and move this onto the floor for an index number. Are there any more? Yes, Representative Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a thought. The first time I was up here, we passed a bill that kids could carry BB guns into the school. So I'm thinking that, yeah, we ought to keep that in our mind as this bill passes through. So thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question. We still have till Wednesday to introduce
Excuse me?
bills. We still have till Wednesday to introduce committee bills in
No.
here? Oh, we don't? Okay, well,
Today,
can I go ahead and?
you may,
close this in?
if
Okay,
you have an RS number.
I do.
Yeah, okay, very good.
Okay. It's RS, 25 RS 1022, prohibiting the use of any prone restraint on a juvenile who is in custody at juvenile detention facility or juvenile correctional facility or being assessed as part of the juvenile intake and assessment system on behalf of a representative from the Cedric Lofton Committee.
And who is that representative?
Can't remember her name, but they asked, she did ask if Representative Schlingen-Siepen and myself would sponsor this bill, so.
So are you adopting it as your own then?
That's, see, and that's where my issue was. We approved the draft, so I don't know, does that make us the sponsor, or do we just leave it with them, or? This is my first time introducing a bill.
Let me consult.
Okay, yes, I do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jason Thompson, Revisor's Office. So now that I have permission to disclose, the representative is requesting the bill on behalf of, the name is Faith Martin, M-A-R-T-I-N, lobbyist for the Cedric Lofton Action Committee.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you. So are there any other questions about the RS bill that Representative Martinez has just presented? Any objections? If none, we'll move that on to the floor for an index number. Thank you. Okay, once again, any committee bills? This is the last day. That's just the rules. I'm not making them up. I'm just passing them back. Okay, now we go to anybody from the audience that might have a bill seeking committee sponsorship as the draft. Welcome to the committee. Could you state your name and then provide us with the information?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members of the committee, my name is Scott Schultz. I'm the Executive Director of the Kansas Sentencing Commission, seeking to, on behalf of the Commission, to introduce 25 RS 974. This is an act concerning the Senate Bill 123 program in terms of excluding certain offenders convicted of a non-person felony from participation in the program. It also authorizes community corrections officers to complete criminal risk needs assessments for divertees.
Are there any questions? Any objections? If not, we'll pass that out favorably to the committee, to the floor. Thank you. Are there any other bills from the audience? Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. I'm Brenna Vazowski with Kansas Appleseed. I have one for you all today. It is 25 RS 1052. It's a bit dense for me, so I'm just going to read it off. This bill would add considerations of whether an offender had physical custody of such offender's minor children or was a legal guardian or custodian with physical custody of a minor child at the time of the offense to factors considered for diversions and dispositional departures. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the committee? Any objections? If not, that bill will move on to the floor for an index number. All right, one last chance for anybody in the audience or on the committee that wishes to put forward a bill today. If not, does anybody on the committee have any questions or comments? We will not be meeting tomorrow. We may be meeting Wednesday and Thursday. I don't think we have anything scheduled at the moment, do we? Right. So, well, you'll know tomorrow if we're going to meet on Wednesday and Thursday. All right? We're adjourned.